Nigeria's Minister of Finance, Zainab Ahmed, recently disclosed that a case study has revealed that 1.8 trillion naira worth of used vehicles were imported into the country between October 2018 and September 2019. The minister says Nigeria was the hub of stolen automobiles, as the vehicle identification number, as the VIN, of vehicles in the country were usually unregistered. Hence, automobiles within the shores of Nigeria cannot be traced. She also noted that it was in a bid to address these challenges and more that her ministry has now launched its national vehicle registry. She has made these comments in Abuja. Over in Rwanda, Visit Rwanda is the biggest winner when Lionel Messi was presented as a PSG, Paris Saint-Germain player earlier this week. This automatically makes the Argentine star an ambassador of the Visit Rwanda campaign, which has a running partnership with the French football giants. It was, of course, confirmed that the Visit Rwanda team at the Rwanda Development Board is bracing itself to take full advantage of the star power Messi will add to the partnership that it has with PSG. Joining us to discuss further is Ugo Aliogo, public policy analyst. Ugo, you're very welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Where do we start? Do we start with smuggled vehicles in Nigeria or Rwandan tourism and what we can learn? Where do we
I think let's start with the smuggled vehicle in Nigeria.
Let's start with smuggled vehicles. What do you make of 1.8 trillion naira worth of vehicles between 2018 and 2019?
I mean, that is a sad statistics for Nigeria. I was on this show months back, and then the federal government was talking about launching a policy where Nigeria can have access to brand new cars.
Yes.
And then I talked about the fact that the policy can work, and the fact that there were certain fundamentals we needed to put in place, for the policy to work. Now, let's look at this issue on ground, the smuggled vehicle, the stolen cars and everything, that comes into this country. This policy that government is trying to implement, it's a very beautiful policy, and then it's a step in the right direction. However, for this policy to succeed, we need to put in place some fundamentals. Now, we do not have the data registry of the cars.
That's correct.
So there needs to be a framework that has to address that. And then in doing that framework, you have to work with the Federal Road Safety. You have to work with the Vehicle Inspection Office, VIO, and then the necessary stakeholders to build data registry first.
Okay.
That's the first thing.
Right.
And then we'll look at effective border policing. We don't have effective border policing across our borders. So as a result, there are revenue leakages. If you have effective border policing, 45% from the case study that the minister said, 45% of the cars that are in Nigeria, they are smuggled cars. And then they are smuggled through our porous borders.
That's almost half.
So that's almost half of what comes into the country.
Yeah.
And then again, we'll not have to set the distinction. What are the cars we need as a country? Do we want to continue with fairly used cars that are imported from Europe, the ones that are smuggled into Nigeria? Or do we need to support local manufacturers? We'll have innocent motor.
That is correct. Every time we talk about cars,
So the thing is, for you to set the right policy, what is the policy on car usage in Nigeria? Where do we want to look at? The world is driving towards electric cars.
It is.
And then the world is now looking at, in many economies, they are looking at phasing out fuel use cars,
right,
to focus on electric cars.
Right.
We're not there yet. That is a long-term dream.
We need electricity first.
Yes, we need electricity first to drive that.
Right.
So the first focus is we'll have local manufacturers, we'll have innocent motors.
Right.
Why don't we encourage innocent motors? Why don't we put our feet down and look at how we can encourage local producers?
And then there's also the matter of the Jaokuta steel.
So there's the matter of so that's part of the fundamentals.
It's all linked, yeah.
So it's all interlinked,
right,
because you need steel to produce cars.
Right.
So we need to set those fundamentals right.
Yeah.
The policy is good, but it's workable when you now have already an established system. What's the established system? Like now, okay, we're producing cars in Nigeria. So as we produce, we register, and then you now have a database. So it shouldn't look as if like a case of putting the cart before the horse.
Gotcha.
So we should look at first to set the fundamentals right. What cars do we want to be using in this country? Do we want to still rely on imported cars? Because if we rely on imported, fairly used cars, that's a lot of Nigerian revenue you are taking outside.
Right.
That you're supposed to invest in the economy and drive the economy so that the money can reflate in the economy.
Well said, yeah.
So, and then you now look at data registry. We don't have data registry for these cars.
Facts, yeah.
And then if you are beating that data registry, how long is it going to take you? What is the timeline again for this data registry you are building? And like I've always said, if this administration leaves, will the next administration continue with that policy?
Policy continuity.
So policy continuity is a big problem.
Yeah.
So,
and we're going to find out pretty soon because
so
2023 is
around the corner.
Right, it is, yeah.
It's not far.
Yeah.
It's around the corner.
Yeah.
So we now have to address those fundamentals. Data registry, we now have to look at effective border policing to end that trade of small good cars.
Excellent points. Yeah.
So because there are revenue leakages. So the money that's supposed to come to custom duty, that's supposed to come as custom duties, at the end of the day, it's lost.
Yeah.
And this trade continues because there is a value chain of people profiteering from that business. So that's how this trade. So we have to set those fundamentals right first, before launching this policy. Otherwise, if you launch the policy, so what about the cars that have been using?
Right.
So, and then how do you get people to register? Who are the partners you're going to work? You're going to work with the telcos. You're going to work, so there's a lot we'll have to implement.
Right.
Along this line. The policy is good. It can work.
But it's the implementation.
So it's the implementation and then putting the necessary guidelines, the necessary policy guidelines to make these things work. Fantastic.
Well said. What about tourism? Let's talk. What if Messi wore a Visit Nigeria T-shirt? What impact? What do you make of this deal? This deal Rwanda had with PSG. This was before Messi joined. So I don't know. I mean, what do you make of our tourism?
Now, tourism is a sector that you promote deliberately. You have to be deliberate. You have to be intentional about it. Rwanda has been on this path. Not last year. They have been on this path for a long time, promoting their tourism potential because they've seen it as a potential. Dubai, that's what they're doing.
Right.
United Arab Emirates, in Dubai, that's what they're doing. They're promoting tourism. Yeah. So in promoting tourism, they decided that, look, we have to be a leader in Africa when it comes to tourism. They do not have much of the natural resources we have in Nigeria. It's a small country. But they made deliberate effort to promote it. And then bringing a Messi, using a PSG, and then having a Messi wear the jersey, promoting it, it's really going to take the tourism potential of Rwanda global. It's going to take it very far.
If you've never heard of Rwanda, if you're one of those folks who don't know much about it, and you see Messi wearing a T-shirt, who is he? I'm sure Google searches for Rwanda have spiked now. Yeah.
So that's a lot of adverts that is going for Rwanda. Yeah. That's a lot of huge publicity that is going for Rwanda. And then people will be interested in going to that Rwanda.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a deliberate effort. If we can do the same, but we have to be deliberate about promoting our tourism potential. We have a lot of tourism potential. All we need is a lot of promotion. We need to be intentional about it. We need to drive out a framework. What do we need to do? There's a lot of things that we need to put in place. We'll have the potential. It's just for us to put those policies in place and then promote it. And then we'll have to be intentional. It's not just talking about it.
We do have to address this though. For people to visit here, there's the issue of insecurity and making sure that it's the country is safe for tourists to be able to. So isn't that one of the priorities on trying to make sure?
Yes, insecurity is one of the priorities.
Right.
Insecurity is one of the priorities we have to address. And then, however, the media is very powerful. So you can use the media, to tell the story better. You can use the media to change the narrative. So the narrative we have about Rwanda is from the media.
Right.
And then if there's issue of insecurity, we don't know. The narrative we have about Rwanda is from the media. So we can use the media to change the narrative. So it's not a dead situation. It's not a dead end. We can use the media to promote the narrative and push Nigerian tourism better.
Do you think COVID-19 would have impacted Nigeria's ability to promote its tourism sector? We've seen what's happened in the last 1 year.
Yes. COVID affected everybody.
Everybody, it's not just us.
So it's not just us.
It's not an excuse for us.
It's not an excuse.
Yeah.
So, but like I said, promoting tourism has to be intentional efforts.
Is Nigeria being intentional enough?
We're not. We're not. We're not being intentional. If you position a Leguchi Beach, for instance, very well, in terms of tourism potential, we bring in private sector partners who understand tourism very well, who have a proven track record.
It'll work.
And then we can bring in international tourists can come and visit those places. We can look at a place where we'll have Nigerian food, Nigerian delicacies across the world.
We gotta go. Nigerian food.
Across the world. So we'll have Nigerian restaurants across the world.
Ugo Aliogo, public policy analyst. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.